This video had to be heavily cut up and some parts of it are even removed due to Disney blocking the uploads of this video that I uploaded previously. This was done by Disney under the guise of copyright, which is an abuse of said system, as this video only has small parts of scenes in the movie, and it is done in an educational way, as after each scene I go over why it is incorrect or does not make sense to the plot or basic realism. It is impossible to watch this video as if it was a movie due to how heavily cut up it is, and less than half of what was originally a 40-minute video is actual footage. Some of said footage was replayed over and over for humor reasons. Mind you, the actual movie is over 3 hours long. For this reason, a lot of the scenes I am talking about in this new upload had to be cut into a few seconds instead of a dozen or so seconds, and some scenes had to be fully replaced with just a screenshot of the scene. So please watch this movie for deeper context of what I am saying, since Disney decided to basically heavily force me to modify this video. With that said, let's begin. Alright, here we go.
The daughter whose conception was a total mystery.
Technologically advanced scientists that remain on Pandora can do a basic biology check to see who Curie's father is. Spider, who is a little child, doesn't get killed by the various monsters on Pandora, despite not being Na'vi, and he actively explores, as he grows up, the planet by himself. The Na'vi are left alone by most creatures, but humans have always been shown to be hunted by them. Scully takes no precautions on dealing with humanity in a hopefully more peaceful way, despite being half human himself and knowing that humanity would return. Humanity, who came here to colonize the planet and get their resources, burns their resources while making as dickish of an entrance as possible. I could see the mechs walking around on the molten hot ground, but those on-foot troopers would be set alight from the heat of the scorched ground. Humanity burns the great tree in the beginning of this movie, making the previous movie purposeless, if they could have just burned it right off the bat. Humanity burning the great tree area also destroys the resource that they came to get that is in the area.
Just in case, and if you are watching it, well, it means that I did get my ticket punched.
Military commander who hates Na'vi agrees to become a Na'vi. Despite being a Na'vi, he still sees Na'vi as lesser and doesn't empathize with them at all during this movie. He should be having a mental breakdown at the fact that he is now what he hated.
Just what the hell am I supposed to say now?
Remind him how this works. Speak, we're going to imprint you with it, and
Hey, am I doing this or are you doing it?
hurry it up.
Commander asks him to explain it, then tells the scientist to fuck off when he does.
Well, we'll just regroup in hell. Simplify.
Movie makes Marines seem like evil devils. Taking down a machine gun gunship with bows and arrows. Somehow a year has gone by and the Na'vi haven't been taken out yet, despite being displaced from their sacred tree and being stuck on the run. In fact, they are winning despite using spears primarily, while humanity had missiles and machine guns.
For our sins in our past life, we have been brought back in the form of our enemy.
Marines say their sins as if they knew they were the comical bad guys.
Grounded. No flying for a month.
No flying for a month, yet he flies a few days later. Is grabbing tail like grabbing ass?
I would kill myself.
Curie shops at Hot Topic.
You are not him.
Spider, despite being told doesn't fit in, seems to fit in with the most important children, which is the children of the chieftain.
These swarm assemblers, they can put up a building in 6 days.
Humanity can build a whole fortress over 6 days, yet has not taken over half the planet with that level of quickness.
Nothing less than to make Pandora the new home for humanity.
Trying to make Pandora a new home because the Earth is dying is stupid. It takes a lot of resources to ship colonization efforts over to Pandora, and the air itself isn't even breathable on Pandora.
We only get 10 minutes in enemy airspace. They are all over us. We believe your blue team will be perceived as indigenous and will not trigger the immune response.
Gunships cannot kill a swarm of flying reptilians despite having machine guns and rockets on them. The fact that the Pandoran wildlife attacks any human-controlled gunships furthers my point of Pandora's wildlife attacking humans over Na'vi due to seeing them as not native. Dangerous wildlife don't attack Nave Marines, once again proving my point that spiders should be dead from exploring this hostile land as a child.
We're standing by for extract. Over.
Take us in.
Marines arrive in the danger zone despite the pilots being human, with no problems whatsoever. Flying beasts make a loud cacoa noise, and the soldiers who saw the quiet kids and were able to ambush them somehow doesn't hear this, despite the fact that these creatures were parked within eye shot of the Marines. Party City Skull. 3 unarmored people, only one with a rifle, the other 2 with bows, somehow eliminate a dozen trained Spec Ops troopers that are also the same race as them, which gives the Spec Ops troopers the same enhancements they do.
If you haven't, knock yourself a whole litter of half-breeds.
Makes fun of half-breeds, yet by definition he is also a half-breed. They dodged past machine gun fire and rockets, including an LMG, that should be tearing apart all those trees. Despite there only being 3 Spec Ops trooper left, nearly 9 respawn somehow to make the dozen that appear to retreat to the chopper. The chopper does not continue looking for Scully, despite the fact that the whole mission resulted upon finding him, and Scully was shown only to have a few bows and 1 machine gun with a nearly empty clip.
He's hunting us. He's targeting our
You
family.
cannot ask this.
Despite the last movie being a literal war to defend the forest, Scully now wants to leave all of a sudden, which would leave the forest even more undefended. The one Spec Ops guy might be after him, but he's one dude. They want to pacify the Nave. Why don't the humans just occupy and subjugate the Nave in the forest once their chieftain, who is the leader of this rebellion, leaves? Hell, it makes more sense for the evil empire to enslave and sell them off due to their exotic look than just kill them all.
This will protect the people. Quaritch has Spider. That kid knows everything.
It was a whole operation. Lead them right in here.
If the people harbor us, they will die.
You fought a successful guerrilla war for nearly a year. Now all of a sudden, one Spec Op guy who got his ass kicked from just 3 of you appears and you want to just run away.
Where is Jake Sully?
I don't know.
We know that you know.
I don't know.
The human government tortures a child, which has been illegal since the mid-1900s.
I'm not your father. Technically, you and I, we're nothing to each other.
He says we are nothing to each other. Remember that for later.
The leader must die. The people will be safe.
The leader must die, yet he does not die. He just gets kicked out. Also, is this a cultural thing? Do chieftains actively leave once danger presents itself to the point where this is tradition?
The father protects. It's what gives him meaning.
The father wants to protect his family by having them go into the middle of the dangerous forest with no supplies to hopefully be allowed in with a sea clan, which sees them as unuseful and outsiders. The dad did a hell of a dice roll with that one.
Their arms are thin. Their tails are weak. You'll be slow in the water. And not even true nothing.
They mention their arms are thin and tails are weak, yet somehow the forest Nave learned to swim as fast as the water tribe.
Orok Makto and his family will stay with us. Treat them as our brothers and sisters.
The water people agreed to let these, by their own belief, burdens in their society live with them, despite knowing that humans are actively hunting them down.
This is great. It's nice, right?
They live in open tents that if a fire is lit, would light up the tent as we see later. They would definitely get sick actively living like that next to a beach, as they can't have fire or light where they are sleeping. They're basically sleeping on a coastline with no fire or heat in the area. They jump in an area that is only a few feet above coral, which is someone who has dived in a coral reef before. Coral is sharp as hell to touch, and some may even burn you. Forest Nave, who are not trained in swimming underwater, have their mouths open as they swim, which is how you choke. Anyone who swims knows to keep your mouth shut when you swim, so you don't get an influx of water in your lungs. She somehow holds her breath for about 10 minutes straight, despite her brothers losing breath after about 2 minutes.
Whoa, hold on there, hotshot. I will give you a old school ass whipping.
Child abuse.
What?
Navi kids younger than me do this with their bare hands.
Nave kids somehow wrestle these dangerous creatures, who we saw in the last one, specifically older teenagers or adults do. Not kids. Kids would die trying to wrestle those pterodons.
Leave them alone.
The Water Tribe kid went from slowly accepting them, saying they are learning, then all of a sudden in the next scene they go full bully mode out of nowhere.
First up, bullets up real tight like this. Okay? Okay?
If the Water Tribe people can't close their hands to a fist, how do they hold their spears?
Why can't I just be like everyone else?
You're with a new tribe. Even if you weren't half human, you'd be seen weird by the Water Tribe. The Water Tribe boys prank the son by literally trying to kill him. This isn't like a haha joke. They literally try to get him killed. Fantasy Dunkelosaurus leaves the much bigger and bubblier prey to eat what would be a small snack. Jesus imagery.
Okay, let's go. No, this is not Alden's fault.
The son defends the chieftain's son despite the chieftain's son trying to kill him. This wasn't a prank. This was an attempted murder. Futuristic medicine doesn't work, but tribal chanting somehow fixes a stroke.
Nazi. Nazi.
That's what you said, isn't it? Or Nazi on the air.
Not Nazi. Nazi.
Nazi.
It is the same pronunciation. One is just more nasally.
That's hundreds of islands. That's a big search box with lots of villages.
This is our guy. You give me ships and aircraft, I'll bring you back your scalp.
Scully and family fled, allowing the military to now take over the forest people. Why are the humans still hunting Scully when the point of hunting him was to stop him from leading the rebellion? The only thing happening out near the water people are whale harvesting, which has been happening away from the water tribes and has been happening with no problems whatsoever.
Hey.
You Scoresby?
Uh-huh. Are you the asshole who's commandeering my ship?
That would be me.
They are hampering a $1 trillion whaling business to catch one guy who is no longer a threat. Who in the human government sanctioned this? They break the non-aggression pact the government set up with the dozens of water tribes to hunt one guy who is no longer a threat.
Shoot that animal.
The Spec Ops soldiers know, according to themselves linking to their pterodons, that the animals and Nave have a very personal bond to the point where the Nave see their animals as people. Yet they basically commit murder, which is how you easily start a war, despite the fact that they were told not to start a war over this, just get Scully.
Burn the hooches.
They threatened to kill the chieftain's wife, definitely starting a conflict in the near future, which was not sanctioned by any higher-ups. They burn their homes for no reason other than to be evil dicks. It serves no point and will just create dissent. How do you think the human public will view you burning down a sentient racist home to catch one guy who wasn't even a threat to human expansionism, since he fled from the place you're trying to expand to? Also, this is why the water tribes are dumb for building using a very flammable material. Did no one get sea shanty drunk and have a bit of a party and mistakenly light a fire and burn the whole place down before?
Let the villagers will not tell them where you are. By my order.
The chieftain of one tribe orders the chieftains of the other dozen tribes to not give up a man who, by old definition, is an outsider, who the other tribes wouldn't see as their people. The forest people don't come to the beach tribes according to said beach tribes. When your family has a gun to their head, they would rat out Scully in a second.
Respectfully, sir, you do not understand the kinship bonds between the Tulkun and the Ocean Navi. It would be like murdering a member of their family.
If we start hunting here, the hostiles will come after us.
Exactly. One hostile in particular.
The humans start hunting the whales linked to the water tribes instead of the wild ones out in the ocean for no reason. It's not like Scully is a water tribal who is linked to the whales. This is just pissing off the water tribe for the sake of it. That map.
How about no?
It's Normandy, but with whales. Why would the whales bring their kids to this obviously planned fight? And the humans literally said earlier that they only hunt away from the Nave tribals, so that way they avoid war. Yet, this is a scene in which they're hunting near the Nave tribals. The two scenes completely defunct each other. Are the humans hunting near the Nave or are they not? Both scenes are basically confusing each other. The whale, for some reason, never had someone just watch his vision before. These whales have photographic memory, yet it doesn't show what actually happened and the fact that it was framed until now to anyone.
Shut down!
The killing, no matter how justified, only brings more killing. So killing was forbidden. This is the Tulkun way.
Remember, killing is not allowed by the Water Tribe. At all. Keep that in mind for later.
Paika is a killer. So he's outcast.
If killing results in banishment, wouldn't the killer just move to another tribe and be able to start over? The human government commits a war crime by hunting and killing sentient whales, including the whale's children. We do realize whaling without strict regulation is illegal since the late 1900s, and our whales aren't even sentient.
€6 a beer.
Asians going whaling picturized.
Bad, slow it down and keep her up to the surface. Yeah. Straight up on her.
Wannabe hunter guy from Jurassic Park Lost World is much more annoying than the version from Lost World.
Oh, burn down.
Peter, if you want me to run your little camping trip, there are two conditions. Firstly, I'm in charge, and when I'm not around, Dieter is.
You Scoresby? Uh-huh. Are you the asshole that's commandeering my ship?
No.
All you need to do is sign the checks, tell us we're doing a good job, and open your case of scotch when we have a good day. Second condition, my fee. You can keep it. All I want in exchange for my services is the right to hunt one of the Tyrannosaurs.
Oh, can't get out of it. Get into it.
Break up a stray from the herd and cross it to the right. Naggers, stay ready. I'm bringing them out. It'll be packing. Oh, hell. Fat heads will be bull spot. Frying time.
She takes an explosive harpoon to the chest and she's still running.
You mean swimming. Whales don't run, jackass. Apparently these whales never fight back despite being sentient, even more sentient than humans. There's about 4 to 5 whales pictured in this hunting scene, and only 1 to 2 boats. The whales should be able to use pack tactics to destroy the boat. No humans here are upset seeing a sentient baby whale crying that its mother is dead, in which then they kill the baby whale.
Not only are they smart, they're deeply emotional. We're spiritual. They have music, philosophy, mathematics, complex language.
Deeply emotional and spiritual. Music, philosophy, mathematics, complex language. Like, how the fuck are the humans getting the okay to hunt these things? This isn't even a PETA situation. This is a sentience rights issue.
That's it. Marina.
Bad luck for the big guys. This stuff just happens to stop human aging, like, stops it. Ounce for ounce, the single most valuable substance known to man. This little vial here is worth like 80 million.
A small vial of the creature gets 80 million, yet if they just trade the whale something spiritual but cheap for a bit of that liquid, they can make a bunch of more money harvesting it from the whales every few days instead of just a one-time thing. I would think the whales would slowly regain the liquid over time, so just set up trade with a few of them and just get it every few days rather than killing it once and it basically no longer being valuable. Hell, the whales are so chill to the Nave, you could probably just speak to the Nave and get the Nave to get you some of it, in return for some resources, and that is the solution. Talk to the Na'vi and have the Na'vi get some of that juice from the whales, saying that this will allow humanity to live forever, blah blah blah, and that you could then give the Na'vi, you know, maybe material that won't burn completely, so that way they can live in homes that aren't. That the whales are the perfect excuse on how you can make peace between the water tribes and humanity. But instead, they just hunt down the whales, which are a finite resource, possibly pissing off the whales, the wildlife, and the Na'vi for a one-time use thing. It's fucking stupid.
Think fast.
Please don't. It's never fun.
And Rita is what's paying for everything here on Pandora now. Even your research, ain't that right, Dr. G?
That's why I drink.
Also, somehow, random liquid stops aging. This is the same story as the Dark Crystal. We are literally comparing humanity to the fucking Skeksis, which are the embodiment of evil. For those who have not seen the Dark Crystal, let me explain it. The Skeksis are a race of bird-like reptilians that capture sentient races and hook them up to this machine that drains their essence. Basically, it drains and either drains them to the point where they're very, very old, or it kills them. The Skeksis then drink this and allows their life to be extended so they can live forever. We are literally comparing futuristic humans are somehow compared to the Skeksis, despite the fact that humanity is getting more and more progressive by the year. He goes to stab the soldiers despite being surrounded by gunmen.
Want your kids back? You come out alone. You know better than to test my resolve. I will not hesitate to execute your kid.
Everyone on the ship is okay with killing children.
They are killers of Tukun. They must die. The killing, no matter how justified, only brings more killing. So killing was forbidden. This is the Tukun way. They are killers of Tukun. They must die.
While Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces, they certainly haven't forgotten about her.
Check your fire. I'm coming out.
I don't get the revenge plot. The new evil soldier guy says he's not his old self to the point of denying that Spider is his kid. Yet, he is enough of his old self to want to kill Scully, who has been just trying to stop the genocide of what is now his own, is the Marines' own race.
And look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! A barrage of gunfire misses every rider underwater, despite their large silhouettes being easy to see. There's a 120-pound unarmed boy takes out multiple guards by himself.
Get us away! Not responding! Get us off the table! Who's got the harpoon now?
Human biologist makes a witty joke while being pulled by a giant whale that is looking to kill them. They should all be terrified, not making jokey banter.
Make your water pumps on. Man your weapons!
I thought you were the intelligent species here, Scoresby.
Got your kind called Goblin?
Another joke, dude, you're about to fucking die, which you do.
Get down!
Deal this before. You for them.
The Water Tribe army just leaves the battlefield midway during the fight for some reason. Why not just shoot him from your position and then dip? The ship you're on is fucking sinking.
Get down!
The explosion that Scully set off could have easily killed his kids. The mother looses an arrow that is lodged into someone through that person is lodged into, and it hits another target. That's not how physics work. Spider hides as if he knows the wife will kill him. Like, what the fuck? Wasn't he on their side?
Do it! Do it! Do it!
Think I care about some kid? You're not mine. We're not even the same species.
Please don't hurt her. Just please let her go. Please.
Don't kill him.
Listen to me. Let her go. Don't hurt her.
Mom, don't kill him. A son for a son.
Please don't hurt her. Ah!
I can't.
Please just let her go, okay? Just let her go.
What the fuck? Hold up. She was willing to kill Spider. What? And it works? What? Spider is saying don't hurt her, yet he isn't surprised at the fact that the wife is fucking about to shank him. She was legit about to kill him, despite the evil soldier guy saying he isn't my son. This dude then decides to stay with the Nave, despite the chieftain's wife trying to kill him. This should have made it pretty fucking obvious that he will never be seen as one of them, yet the wife never suffers any repercussions. It's never discussed afterwards. This is astonishingly dumb, and this is where the film lost me. Everything up to this point was just annoyingly dumb, but it was pretty to watch and visually made my ooga booga mind kind of satiated. But this scene ruined the movie for me. From then on, until the end of the movie, I couldn't immerse myself in it, since the scene just hung on like a tick for the duration of it. This whole time Spider was played to be part of the family. Scully is part human, the wife's kids is half human, and yet she's willing to kill Spider, a full human, despite the clone openly saying that it isn't his kid. This was so astronomically a character assassination for the wife. I am honestly glad I never liked her, because if I did, I would be fucking livid.
Mama, I'm scared. It's alright. Stay close to me.
The girls are stuck in a room that the other daughter is easily able to swim into. Like they sit there for 5 minutes when they could have just swam out. They have been shown to hold their breaths for 10 minutes before.
Son, come with me.
Spider saves his father, and then leaves the father for a Scully and family, despite the fact that the woman tried to slit his throat, which after that occurred, I would never go back with them. Despite basically having that revelation that Spider is his son, and that he is a Nave and he has a human son, things like that, it doesn't change him at all. This whole revelation doesn't fucking change him. It ends where it started. No one's mindset has changed. This is like Jaime Lannister at the end of season 8. Jaime Lannister goes through this whole character arc, and then by like the end of season 7 to 8, he fights for humanity and stuff, and goes against Cersei. He denies her, and then near the end of season 8, he just reverts back. It's like, what the fuck? What is the point of having these characters do these things? What is the point of them experiencing things if they don't change whatsoever? They are static characters, despite the fact that their storyline is anything but static.
I see now. I can't save my family by running. This is our home. This is our fortress. This is where we make our stand.
Scully comes to the conclusion they need to fight again, which is what they came to at the end of the first movie. Scully realizes humanity will just keep coming and coming and way out technology them, right? Like at this point, try to make peace and join humanity. Start a Mass Effect style council with the Water Tribe, Forest Tribe, Whales, and humanity. Why not, right? Like, Scully was human, and humanity is actively doing the Avatar program. They have Marines who are half-breeds and avatars. They have to see the Na'vi as people according to their own logic. Stop fighting mechs with bows and spears and just join humanity. Show them your connection to animals is useful and cool. People will vacation to the place to see new culture. Turn it into a paradise planet. Do something other than fight, which is just leading to more and more death. If y'all were equal in tech and number, I'd say fight. But the Na'vi are so outnumbered and primitive that they would get squashed realistically. The Na'vi all look like humans with model bodies. Do you know how many men and women would swoon to have a Na'vi mate? What I'm saying is this conflict is stupid and the story makes no sense. The army disrupts peace with the Sea Tribe and also fucks up the whaling business, which is worth trillions, to hunt a guy for leading a rebellion, which he then left. Scully did a 180 and ran away instead of fighting again, and humanity are played off to be an evil race of serial killers with no redeeming members or justice who rather genocide a very human-looking race of sentient beings and destroy half of the resources when they could just trade for supplies or park somewhere with low Nave contact. It's a planet, right? There should be plenty of unclaimed room to start human settlement without losing trillions in tech and lives. I understand if you like this movie, if you're a retard or a toddler, but I do not like it as anything more than eye candy. Yes, the visuals are nice. The fight is pretty one-sided and humans are constantly just getting ganked by the Na'vi. And yes, the Na'vi are going in my browser's list, but beyond that, there is no substance to this movie. It's a dumb blockbuster that is made to make people go ooh and ah, without actually writing a realistic script or consistency. This took them, I believe, 12 years to make, and this is what they came up with, this script. It's made to make the Na'vi appear like a paradise race of models who love nature, when in reality, as we saw with our own tribal days, there would be a lot of infighting. There is active racism in this movie between the water and forest tribes. The fact they go from, we never visit each other and y'all are not built to live our lifestyle, to, yeah, you can live here and be our equals, is utter bullshit. The water and forest tribes and their sub-tribes should be occasionally getting into conflicts with each other, as each of these tribes is made up of various smaller beliefs and politics and lifestyles and things like that, which are just like how our real civilizations act. The Na'vi might act like druids from D&D, but they are still people with wants and desires. They get angry, use New York slang, get married, get happy, wanna fuck, get sad, feel the angsty teen I don't fit in phases in their teenage years, and in general act like tribal humans. They aren't the fucking Vulcans, they are basically blue tribal hippies, and the idea of humanity being willing to just waste them all is so fucking stupid and self-loathing against humanity that I pity any children who watch this and start to think that their race is like this.
This is like watching Avatar, the movie with the blue guys. It's just visual and auditory stimuli. Is it very interesting? Or is anything really happening? No. But my eyes and ears are having a blast.